Sunshine Fam, welcome back. My name is Chloe and welcome to the Sunshine Fam. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a really good dessert. That's very, very simple, that I learned years ago. I don't even remember how I got the recipe for it, but it's very simple. It only has 4 ingredients to it and there's no baking on it. It's a cold dessert and it is called Stars and Stripes. So I've already made one of them and it looks, I'm going to try to do this so that it doesn't ruin it. It looks like that. Can you see that? So that's the finished product. And so I'm going to a party tomorrow at for my family. And not a birthday party or anything like that, but the ingredients that we need for this Stars and Stripes dessert. We have to sweep the floor. Okay, so pound cake, 1 pound of pound cake, or this isn't really a pound, 10.75 ounces of, and I got Sara Lee, pound cake. And then we need a tub of Cool Whip. You can use any kind of something similar to Cool Whip. You don't need one quite this big, but I'm making 2 of them, so I needed a bigger one. And of course, we need our strawberries, fresh strawberries, and some fresh blueberries. So what we do, and then I've got a foil pan here. So what I do is we're going to open the pound cake. It's really very simple. Hope everybody's day is going well. And thank you to those of you that have already commented on yesterday's video, John and Silverstar. So we take the pound cake out of the foil. Cycles. Okay, so what we're going to do, this is still kind of frozen, so I'm going to take a sharp knife. Don't worry, I'm not going to cut myself. So you cut the pound cake into kind of small slices. And I'll cut a few pieces here. You don't want to make them too wide, just kind of like maybe a ½ inch or so. I used to cut it really thick and then it's like, that's not working very much for me. So if we take a few of these, and then what we do is we put it, I don't know how well you can see this. I'll put them in the pan first. You put them in the pan in a neat little row, as close together as you possibly can. We just had some storms come through a little bit ago. We need the rain here in Minnesota, that's for sure. Even with all that snow we had this past winter, we are in a drought because we didn't get much rain this past spring, and even in this summer it's been really hot. So we haven't really had a lot of storms, or a lot of rain rather. Okay. So let me kind of show you. I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. Okay, so that's kind of how it looks. So I just put it in neat little rows as close together as you can. And then if you notice there's like a little space on the side there. So what I do is when I get to the end here, I think I cut these too thin because I got way too much at this point. Maybe we'll double up on that one. Okay, so then maybe I shouldn't have thrown that other piece away. Okay, so I still have quite a bit here. When I cut the other one, I was down to about half that size. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it this way and cut the slices this way and then put those on the side here. So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. They're a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be, but I said, I think I cut them a little bit too thin this time. Okay. I need one more slice here. One more. The funny thing is, a lot of these recipes that I make, I don't eat the food. So I kind of make it for other people. Okay. So let me kind of show you what that looks like. So now it kind of looks like that on the bottom of it. You don't have to spray the pan or anything because, like I said, you're not cooking anything with it. So that's how it looks on the bottom. So let's clean this up. I should throw it away. Shame on me for doing that. As you guys know that I have a compassion for the homeless, and you know, I hate to see them take their food out of the dumpster, but it wasn't a lot that I threw away, but I still feel bad. I throw away even a small amount of food. Okay, so now set that aside. So now we're going to coat the top of this with the Kool-Aid, or Kool-Aid? Cool Whip, sorry. So we take big chunks of Cool Whip, cover the top of that. I don't know how well you can see that, but you want to make it all the way across so that you can't see any of the pound cake. And it doesn't take very long to make this. You don't want it. You don't want the layer of Cool Whip so thin that you can see through the Cool Whip. So you want to put a generous amount over the pound cake. Hopefully I have enough in here. I used quite a bit for the first one. So while I'm doing this, I guess I can tell you, I do remember one story that I wanted to tell you in yesterday's video. I don't think I have given you an update on my biopsy that I had to do. Well, the biopsy went well. It was very, very painful when they gave me the shot, because it was Novocaine that they had to put in my leg, and that was very, very painful. I'm not a big one for pain, as you can tell. So why do I have 4 kids? That's a good question, but that was many, many years ago. But the pain didn't last very long. It was just, I've never been one for shots. I'm sure a lot of you are like that. But so yeah, the shots really, really hurt. And he did the biopsy, sent it out, and after about 2 weeks, I got the results back that thankfully it's not cancer. He basically just called it a malignant lesion, and he does expect that it will grow back in, I mean, it won't grow back right away. It might grow back, but he's not too concerned if it does grow back. They'll just kind of keep an eye on it and that. So, kind of making a mess here. But yeah, he said it was malignant. It'll likely grow back, but thankfully it's not cancer. So that's good news. And thank you everybody who prayed for me during that time. The day the biopsy happened was the same day that Simon had his surgery. I had a lot going on that day. I had to take my car in for a noise that, like, the front of my car sounded like it was rattling every time it went over a bump, and the highway that I travel on is very, very bumpy. They really need to repair it. They're supposed to repair it next year into the following year, so 2024 to 2025, and it's definitely needed repair. But every time it went over a bump, I heard this rattling noise in the front of my car, so I took it back into the shop, and needless to say, adding to the expenses that I paid for my car originally back at the end of March, where I originally took it in for the brakes because the brakes were starting to grind, and then I found out that it needed a lot of repair because I have an 06 car, so a very old, much older car, and I've never had it taken in for any kind of major repairs. So back then it was between $2,000 and $3,000 to fix all the major stuff that needed to be done on the car. And this time the struts in the front needed to be changed out, so add another between $1,000 and $2,000 to that bill. So I will be working for a very long time to just get that bill paid off. Okay, so let me show you now what it looks like. You can kind of see it there in the shot. That's what it looks like now. So then we put the blueberries in the corner up here, and then we cut the strawberries in half. We cut the tops off the strawberries and then put those in a line. So I had half a strawberry from before, but didn't quite fit, so I leave a little bit of a square on the top here. So I put like 2 rows of strawberries for where the blueberries go, and then the rest I go all the way across. So you cut, let's get this out of the way. So now, I don't need the sharp knife for this, just a butter knife. And I gotta kind of watch my time because I was already at 11 minutes. So I probably won't film this whole thing of me doing this, but you just kind of cut off the tops here, and then cut the strawberry in half from top to bottom, and then you just kind of line it up as close as you can to the strawberry in front of it, and kind of push it down just a little bit into the cream. And thanks to Silver Star, I guess I will tell you the story about the chicken that I keep teasing you guys with. So when I got married the first time, I was very young. I was only 19. And didn't really know much about cooking. I mean, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, as I said in one of my Q&A videos. So can I fit that guy in there? Yep. Oh. And so, and then you leave a little bit of space in between the strawberries so that, you know, you get a white stripe and a red stripe. So my mom did most of the cooking. I mean, I'd watch her and stuff like that, but I never really got into cooking, even in school when we, in like junior high, when they'd have home ec and we'd learn how to cook and stuff, which is what they don't do nowadays. But, so to make a long story short, my husband at the time asked me to put the chicken out, okay, for dinner that night. Well, we had a dog at the time. His name was Squeakers. I think I may have told you about him. He was a Pekingese Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix. He was the first dog we got, and I was pregnant with Clary at the time that we got him. And he was a very good dog. So I was at home. I think it was after Clary was born. So I was kind of at home while my husband went out and worked. And so what happened was, when I took the chicken out of the freezer that morning, I put it out on the front steps. And now you guys are all laughing at me, I know. So you're wondering, why would I put the chicken outside? Well, the way that he worded it is you put the chicken out. So I'm thinking in my young mind, you put the dog outside, so you put the chicken outside. So he called me. Okay, stop laughing so you can hear the story. So, I know, Clary's laughing even harder now. Or not Clary, Silver Star. And so he called me around noon and he said, so did you take out the chicken? And I said, yeah, but I got to keep an eye on it. He's like, why? I said, well, I got to make sure the dog doesn't get to it. Get a little pause on the other end of the phone. And he says, why would the dog get on the counter? I said, no, the chicken's not on the counter. It's on the front steps. Long pause, then a lot of laughter. So then he asked me, why did you put the chicken on the front steps? And I said, well, you told me to put the chicken out. You didn't say take it out. You said put it out. So that's the story about the chicken. I have since learned that when anybody says put the chicken out, take it out of the freezer and put it on the counter. So that's my story about the chicken. Okay, so let me see where I'm at here. I'm at 15 minutes, almost 16 minutes. Okay, so let me just do one more piece of strawberry here and then I'll kind of show you what it looks like. Half of a strawberry. Okay, so that's what it's starting to look like. Now you see that I have a big square up here, so I'm going to put the blueberries there. And in the other one I put about 6 across. So I try to keep the blueberries about the same size going across. So I just kind of start in the corner. So 1, 2, and of course you want to put a little bit of space in between these two. 3. That was kind of squishy. 4. Get a couple bigger ones here. 5. That one went down a little bit too far. Whoops, oops, 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 oops. Come here. 6. Okay. So that's how it looks when you put them in there. So, and then of course, as I showed you, this is the finished product. So it looks like an American flag. Isn't that kind of cool? And then of course you keep it refrigerated until you're ready to serve it. So that's the Stars and Stripes dessert. So now, I mean, I know it's past 4th of July and that, but you know, it doesn't have to be a patriotic holiday for you to make this. You can make it any time. It's kind of festive. So now if you guys want to make it, now you know how to make it. So pound cake, Cool Whip, strawberries, and blueberries, and that's all you need. So pound cake goes on the bottom, Cool Whip over the top of that, and then the blueberries in the corner, and the strawberries for the red stripes on the flag. So hope you enjoyed my chicken story. I'm sure you guys are all still laughing hysterically about it. So just an impromptu video here. I do hopefully plan, I've been kind of lazy lately, but I do plan to finish up writing out the information about Bush Jr. for the next presidential highlights video, which I know the last one I put out was back in March. So I've only got like three presidents left. I don't know why I'm delaying, but anyway, before this becomes an edited video, which takes forever to upload onto my computer, that'll be the next story in the next video of how long it takes for me to make an edited video for you guys, which is why